Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
All right, everybody, this is the sound you heard on Sunday as the Iowa Wild had to get into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Ben Gislason is joining us, and boy, oh boy, they did it.
They did, and it was an incredible night down in Austin, Texas, where the Wild had to win to get in. It was as dramatic as you could have possibly imagined to have been. You had three teams racing for two spots on the final day of the American Hockey League season, a script Hollywood couldn't have written.
No question about it.
And Iowa took care of business. It was just a tremendous night.
We have highlights here to show you here. Of course, they're just the Iowa Wild highlights, right? Scoring the goal. So the final score of the game was very impressive. This is dominating when you put an exclamation point next to a win like this, isn't it?
It was, but it wasn't that way the whole game. 5-2 was the final, but Texas scoring first in that game, a Stars team that actually didn't have anything to play for. Their spot was locked. They won the division, but they played like it, and they came out and scored first. Iowa scored late in the first period, and that to me was when I could feel the tension drop a little bit. Yeah. Iowa was a little nervous to start the game. They scored late in the first, and then they blew the doors open in the second with 2 goals over a span of, I think, just over 3 minutes. And that was where it really felt like they were in control, and they finished it off with 2 in the final period. So it was a really tour de force performance. Goals from all kinds of different players, too. Lines 1 through 4 all scored in the game.
That is really good. So the momentum is definitely in the Wild's favor now.
It is. And the matchup they've got with the Rockford Ice Hogs, it'll be a snarly one, too. They played 12 times this year.
Snarly one.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the two most familiar opponents of either side. Rockford and Iowa played the most. Rockford played Iowa the most. Iowa played Rockford the most. So these teams know each other extremely well. Iowa fared very well against Rockford, too. They went 7-3-1-1 in those 12 games. Now, 7 of the 12 were overtime or a shootout, though. So they were airtight games. It's built to be another dramatic series. And the good news for Iowa is they've been playing air quote playoff hockey really since the beginning of April and maybe into mid-March. So they're used to this intensity, they're used to all the drama, and they're used to what it takes to win in this time of year where every night feels like a must-win. It officially is now into the playoffs.
You see Crash is really enjoying himself, too, because he cheers, no matter what happens, he cheers, but has more fun when he's cheering for victories.
Well, and the thing about Crash is we have some real stars on this team. We have guys that are going to be big-time NHL players. Jesper Wallstedt, our goaltender, the highest Swedish drafted goaltender of all time in the National Hockey League. He's here. We've got Marco Rossi, a first-round draft pick, Sammy Walker, our leading scorer. But whenever we do auctions for jerseys, guess whose jersey sells for the most?
Seriously?
Yeah, right here. He's the biggest star we got. He's the biggest star we got.
That's awesome.
Our fans love Crash, and he does such a great job, and he's the biggest cheerleader for sure we got. And he is our biggest star I think we have on the roster for sure.
Okay, so let's talk what we're playing for. Obviously, the playoffs are upon us. What do they call the playoffs here?
Calder Cup playoffs. You're playing for the Calder Cup. Just like the Stanley Cup in the National Hockey League, this is the Calder Cup, and that's the crown jewel of the American Hockey League, and that's what I was searching to get to, one round at a time.
Okay, so first round, what are the playoffs? How many games, and what do we need to do?
Best of 3, so it's similar right now to the NBA play-in tournament where this is to decide the 4th seed, the official 4th seed, who would then play Texas, who's the first team in the division. 5 plays 4. Iowa is 4. They'll play Rockford. Best of 3. So if you win 2 of those 3, you're in. They start tomorrow night in Rockford and then come home Friday. They could seal it on Friday if they were to win in Rockford. They could also have it sealed on them if they were to lose in Rockford. Right. So the best of 3 would be the final game on Sunday at 3 p.m. would be the finale if it gets there. It could end in as soon as 2 games, though. Okay. Hopefully, if Iowa takes care of business beginning tomorrow night.
Okay, now the third game, with the third game, hopefully we'll take care of business and be done by Friday. But if the third game, was that here in Des Moines then?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. So Friday and Sunday here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines.
All right, and tickets are still available?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay. I know they've been selling pretty well, though, so we're looking forward to a Friday night. One of the biggest things, not only home ice is great to have, but from a marketing perspective, the fact that we get to sell for a Friday night and a Sunday night, because it would have been Wednesday night if we would have finished 5th.
Okay.
So Iowa doing some good things for not only their on-ice play, but helping the front office staff out, too, with a little bit more of a marketable game.
Some specials going on, too, on Friday.
Yes,
too. Okay.
yeah. 2-for-1 Confluence beers up until puck drop, and then $2 beers through the end of the first period. period. So
Okay.
even if you don't know anything about hockey, you want to come out and have a good time and take in a hockey game and see, as I mentioned, a bit of kind of a nasty series it might be too. There'll be tons of reasons to come out here. Also $3 off Fireball mixed drinks as well for the hockey game. So there's lots of great reasons to come, whether you're a hockey fan or whether you don't know the difference between a clothesline and a blue line. Come on out. It's a great spot to be on a Friday night to take in the most dramatic time of year in the American hockey.
Now we have a slogan now that made the playoffs, because it's the first time made the playoffs in a long time.
Yeah, this is the second ever. In 10 seasons. They made it in 2018-19 and actually won the opening round, and then they fell to the Chicago Wolves in the second round.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now.
And if you remember, too, 2019-20, they were one of the best teams in the American League, and then COVID hit, and the season ended. The next year after that, they finished in a playoff spot, but they didn't have playoffs. So Iowa's been a playoff team for a lot of these seasons. They missed it last year by just one game, but to have this club back in the playoffs means everything to this guy, to me, to us, the player, staff, and everybody that's a part of the Iowa Wild fan community.
Now, who else are we keeping an eye on to step up and really have their A-plus game tomorrow night?
Well, I think in playoffs, it can really be your top players. It can also be your third, fourth line players.
Because if they score and they get hot.
Right. You really just, it'll be interesting to see, I think, who handles the pressure of a playoff game well. You might lean a little more towards your older guys in this spot, like Nick Petan, our leading scorer this season, had a fabulous season, 62 points.
Wow.
He's a guy who's been around in the American Hockey League for 8 years. He's a fabulous player, fabulous creator. But I also would look at a guy like Marco Rossi, who Minnesota is very keen on. He's a top 10 draft pick in the National Hockey League draft. He's been getting here because they want him to get ready to play in these types of games in the National Hockey League. So he's someone that can be an absolute driver of offense. He can be a driver of defense as well. And then I'm looking at the goalies, whether it's Zane McIntyre or Jesper Wallstedt, they've gone night in, night out, trading out spots every single part of the season so far. It's been back and forth all night or all season long. Goalies, much like pitchers in baseball, they're your biggest influencers on the game. They can steal games, they can also lose you games, but the way Zane and Jesper have played this season, whether it's either of them, it's going to be a very tough out for Rockford, I think, on any given night.
Yeah, every position is difficult, but a lot of pressure on the goalies.
Pressure, but also that's what these guys feed off of.
Yeah.
They want to be in these spots. And Zane's a veteran. He was just shy of getting his 150th American League win in his career this season.
Okay.
And Jesper Wallstedt he was the guy I was talking about earlier. He's the highest Swedish drafted goalie of all time. He's been in these spots before in other leagues, but this will be his first time doing it in North America.
Slogan is Be the Roar.
Yes.
So Be the Roar, everybody. IowaWild.com to get your tickets. And we're going to see you Friday night as we wrap up the playoffs and move on to the next round with the Iowa Wild. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much, Lou.
Get our sticks
Get our
together.
sticks together?
All right.